Hello and welcome back to episode 7,
yes,
I think, of Loose Warhammer with, once again, me the Duke and him the Chieftain.
So the only video he doesn't regularly make.
He's the only one that he doesn't regularly shove his face into. Yeah. But as ever, we are sitting down doing some hobby and some chat. And to help us along with that chat, we of course have a guest. And this week it is Mr. Mark Merfield. Enter the studio, sir.
Crowd noise is no crazy.
Crowd goes wild.
I can now open my paint toolbox.
You can now open your paint toolbox. Well done, Max. Thank you for coming. What are you working on today?
So today I've bought a selection of Empire.
Some ice cream by the looks of it.
Yes, yes. This is my drive all of my club mates mental with my patented storage server. Yeah.
It's not quite as telling you, and it's not quite as bad as Max's Tyrannid's storage system of using the Gaunt SAS packing peanuts.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. I feel the same, but it's just if I have enough models in the box, then they can't move anywhere. So that's why you tend to have
it
about
works.
80 dwarves in an ice cream tub. Works nicely.
Yeah. Oh, those poor dwarves. Oh dear.
You have to have more because they're only small.
That's kind in the book.
Yeah. That's kind of the big laddie.
Right.
So yeah, some Empire for you today.
It is.
Interesting. Is that a Hurricanum or a Luminarch?
Is.
I never know what way round they go.
Yeah, this one's the Hurricanum.
Nice.
I do have the Luminarch, but it's not built yet.
The laser beam.
Hidden in the shed. Besides that, I've got about 40 flagellants, which I need to make a start on as well.
You need to just get the will to actually do that sort of thing.
Well,
yeah.
I don't. To be fair, I prefer batch painting models like that than I do the individual ones.
Really?
Mainly because I'm a tabletop painter, shall we say, so I can just hammer out batch jobs. Fair. If I come to a character or something like this Luminarch, I'm looking at it just going, gee gods, look at the detail on this. So I've painted it all purple to start with, and then after that it's kind of a...
You're a man after my own heart. I batch paint the ever loving hell out of my ones.
Yeah, it's the only way to go. So I'm kind of looking at it thinking, well, I've got to finish it because I need it in my list. Mm-hmm. Not looking forward to it at all.
Do you know what it is? It's just, you look at it, it's like, that's all trim, that's all gold.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
That is exactly what I'm thinking. It's purple, and then I'm just going to highlight the hell out of it in silver.
Oh, you're highlighting, you're a fool.
Well, say highlight, but detail.
You're a fool for highlighting. No highlights in this studio.
Well,
there's not even dry brushing on that side.
I was going to say, possibly dry brush it to pick it out in silver, because then that's an easy way of doing it.
That's a fool's game. That's a fool's game. All that sort of jazz.
I love how all
just
of
leave
these...
it purple then.
Yeah. No. I'm saying put the gold on it. Oh, these guys, that's just gold. That's ready to be washed.
Yeah.
But a lot of these techniques, Max, would save you a lot of time, and you're just like, nah, techniques. Don't do those. How are dry brushing?
No, I quite like how these guys turn out. I don't have any complete ones here. I have more. Out of my 50 chosen, I have
way too many chosen.
Yeah. Not 50 of the new ones. I got
30 of the new ones?
25 of the new ones.
How did you end up with 25?
So
they come in boxes of 10.
They come in boxes of 5. I bought 5 boxes. Sorry, no, I myself bought 4. I got 5 in the big army box they did when they brought out the new Slaves of Darkness. I got 1 for my box for birthday, so I ended up buying about 3 boxes separate outside of the army box. Nice. See, chosen, they're the way forward, baby. Who needs all these like chimeras and stuff like that? Chosen.
People who want to win games.
I was going to say, anyone who plays Chaos.
Chosen. That's a weak man's game. Obviously, you got big old Cider Afringrim as well, who's an absolute.
So you really coming in with a competitive choices you're painting here today, Max?
I mean, look at the size of the thing. He's a unit.
That doesn't mean he's good. He's a Leadership 10 general though.
I was going to say, I'm sure Luke took him in the last Triple Crown because he was Leadership 10.
Yeah, that's literally the only thing. He's Leadership 10 and can join units.
Yes, because he's monstrous imp.
He's monstrous infantry. It's more so that he's unbreakable, but he can join non-unbreakable units.
Yeah.
What's not to love about that? And Scott is still trying to get through some basing of a.
Yeah. Sneak peek at the Wood Elves actually for Blood Bowl.
I'm going to be interested to see how that turns out because I've got an absolute metric ton of skeletons and undead. Probably from 4th edition when I originally bought them. And you go on about James being old on his Warhammer. I'm going to eclipse that a little bit. So So yeah, I've bought 3 of those before they took it out of circulation.
I like to say it's a sneak peek of the Wood Elves. You was painting those last month. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you was. Yeah, it was me, you and James. You was doing Wood Elves last month as well.
Oh, maybe it's not a sneak peek then. Sorry.
Let's see how far you've got.
Yeah.
It's absolutely petarding you right there.
Yeah. No, I like this paint. I've used it on the ogres that I've started redoing, which you'd have seen some of, I think, on the socials. You'd have seen the man-eaters. I really like it though. On them I do this basing and then dry brush it something. It's like a light stony colour.
Good talk.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But on here, I'm actually gonna...
Terminus stone?
Yes, I think he is actually, yeah. On these, I'm gonna cover the whole base in, and this is Agrellan Earth. I think he used Agrellan Badlands on the ogres, but it's the same one's a bit thicker.
I've stolen mud and stolen battle mire sort of stuff, isn't it?
It's that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm basically just covering it so I can cover up the slaughter hole in the base. Because none of the models have the tabs to go in the slaughter hole, which is very annoying. And then I'm going to cover it basically all with grass, but leave a strip and paint that white to have like the white line on like the Blood Bowl pitch, rather than covering it all in flock and then trying to paint the flock white.
Ah, so that's how I
stand out.
I did a little white line on it. Actually, I did a semicircle on one of my big guys on my Yeti.
Nice.
And then someone pointed out that that's only in football.
That's
you have
not, that's not an American football thing, I don't think.
I was like,
big sad.
Yeah.
Absolute big sad, you know. Devastated right there with that nose.
Well, he's just got a bit confused, the poor Yeti. He's on the wrong pitch.
Yeah.
On the wrong pitch, but yet somehow on the right pitch.
Somehow on the right pitch.
I don't know how it works, but it doesn't matter. Mate, Wizards did it.
Wizards did it, indeed.
But yeah, the old classic of me, Hugh excuse.
Yeah.
Wizards did it. I honestly don't know what to do here. I've got many
Paint?
things. Yeah, I've got Archeon
Do
as
some
well.
gold on those.
It kills me. It kills me to do gold. And I got on foot Archeon here as well.
On foot Archeon?
Yeah, my
Wasn't that the Games Day one?
it was a 2004 Games Day model.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, he's been stripped down about 4 times at this point in time. Because I went on a recent paint stripping spree.
I'm glad you added paint to that.
Yeah.
I was wondering where that was going, I'll be honest.
I did catch myself there.
Yeah.
No, I recently stripped down my metal hell cannon, my mounted Archeon.
All the Archeons.
And I own every Archeon. I own every. I think the only one I don't own is like the first Archeon that came out, which is like just a regular Chaos Steed Archeon. That's the only one pretty much I don't own.
So in a very real sense, you don't own every Archeon.
It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't exist. These things don't exist, mate.
Just lying to the people at home.
These things don't exist. You can't prove it.
I'm sure there are pictures somewhere.
You have no proof.
So I'm impressed that you've actually bothered to strip down a model you previously painted. I mean, I feel that you're similar to me insofar as you've got an absolute metric ton of armies. So going back to restrip is. Yeah, I just can't face doing it. I'd rather just deal with it.
I look at it and think, it just doesn't look as good. It doesn't look good. And see, that's character progression right there.
And Andy gets bullied by us to paint better. That's also true.
This is
everyone who knows me has given up. Contrast have been an absolute gun.
Yeah, I really like contrast. For certain things, I think they're really good.
I'm just waiting for them to come out with some sort of metallic contrast, and then I will be the happiest man on the planet.
Well, Max, you've done a lot of work with contrast on metals, haven't you? Do you base it lead belcher, or do you base it gold and then put
what's out there? My Chaos Dwarves, I think it's the biggest example of it. It's base lead belcher, contrasted Blood Angels red, and then gloss varnish it to give that nice sheen.
Yeah, and it's really nice, and you've got it on Village as well. You've done the blue.
Talasar blue, same sort of thing, but Talasar blue instead of...
That is my favourite contrast.
Yeah.
It is.
It was Talasar blue rather than the Blood Angels, but then again, still gloss varnished it. Valkyr's got the same thing. I've got Valkyr who's done with the Blood Angels over silver. She has been glossed as well. I love a bit of gloss these days, apparently. Everything that's metallic.
Blood Crushers, they're done
the actual Juggernauts themselves.
Yeah.
Because all my Khorne Demons are done like Sila's done, which is Wraithbone with Blood Angels red.
Yeah.
Which gives it a nice sort of really sort of bold red colour, which makes it stand out quite a bit.
Is that the original red they did, or is that a more recent one?
That's Blood Angels red. That's just the contrast. That's just that one. So that's what he's come out as. That's what all my Khorne demons have come out as. So it's probably my favourite contrast colour.
I'm trying to work out if I've got that one or not. Oh yeah, and obviously this makes it stunning. Have I got this paint? Yeah.
I would recommend it. It's certainly my favourite contrast colour.
I've definitely got a red. I can't remember which one it is.
I bought loads of different sort of quite bold contrasts back when I was going to paint an Orcs and Goblins. I say Orcs and Goblins. Goblins army for the Squigs.
Was this before you sold said Goblins army to me?
That is correct.
Lovely.
I then obviously didn't do any painting of goblins or squigs in any way, shape, or form.
You painted 10.
I did. You're right. I did paint 10. That is a lie. I painted 10 night goblins. But that was it.
In the grand scheme of things,
Of about 400 goblins.
Yeah, I think I want.
Hence, you sold them to Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
For him to not paint them.
I mean, I paint the Orcs and Goblins as and when they needed to be done.
You paint orcs and some squigs.
I paint some squigs.
Yeah.
I want to get my 2 Ragnaroks painted because I do own 2 Ragnarok spiders.
That's probably too many.
No, they're cool. They're giant spiders. Who doesn't like arachnophobia?
People who are arachnophobic.
Well, don't go into the
People
forest.
who've actually seen the film.
Yeah, that is fair. But no, so I say I want to go back to the Orcs and Goblins. I really don't. It drives me up the wall when I paint green all the time.
So that is probably going to have to be my next project after Empire.
Yeah.
Orcs and Goblins.
Yeah, I've had them sitting around since, but let's just say I started collecting them in 3rd edition.
So a while then.
Yeah, so most of them the old metals slashed with the old early plastics, which were crap, but you know have a certain nostalgia feel to me.
I think there's only so much bare green backside you can paint before you need to go on to something else. And which did happen when I painted my unit Savage Orcs. There's only so much bare green bottom you can paint.
So I think we discussed earlier, I really enjoy batch painting because you know it's not a lot of effort involved, or not a lot of thinking involved, perhaps I should say. But I also tend to have about 8 different projects on the board at once because I'm like a hobby butterfly. I'm like, I'm just like, even doing this, I'm like, oh god, I'm bored of this now. What else can I paint?
I'm sure Max has got some Chosen you can paint.
No. That's why I've bought a selection of stuff.
I've got some Minotaurs downstairs to paint as well.
Oh, that's the only thing I haven't painted on my basement yet is all my Minotaurs. I picked up loads of the is it Zelot miniatures ones when they were doing the Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
So,
I will say I don't know of that one.
Oh, yeah, I'll have to show you because they're epic, but they're also really big, so they're going to be an absolute.
Are they like the
pain in the
GW
arse.
ones, which is muscles upon muscles upon muscles?
No, they're more
muscle than man.
Yeah, they're about the same size, but they're more proportioned to the old GW ones.
More correctly proportioned.
Yeah.
There are no muscles where muscles shouldn't be.
They haven't got the stupid hooves.
Yeah, the hooves are a bit odd on the GW Minotaurs.
I'd probably like the GW Minotaurs if it wasn't for the hooves. It's just, you know, it's
I
little
don't mind the
things
hooves.
bug
I
you.
think they make sense, being sort of part, bull.
Oh no, hooves are fine.
Yeah,
It's just the
actual
proportions of them.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay,
They have large feet, Scott. They have very large feet.
I see. That they have trouble buying shoes. Is that what you're telling me?
They have trouble picking a weapon. In Beastman society, you don't make weapons. You steal them and you use it until it breaks. They don't make weapons, baby.
But thanks, Max.
Come back later.
Not sure what that had to do with the the conversation about shoes, but sure.
Same thing. You have to,
just use a shoe as a weapon.
Yeah, they have to beat up ogres to get their shoes.
I mean, that's before the ogres eat the shoe itself.
The metal shoe.
I mean, they'll eat their club if they need to.
Yeah,
It's the last thing they will eat. A club is precious to an ogre. Do you read your own lore, Scott? Do you read your own fluff?
I think my favourite line from that ogre book is "Boom, ha ha ha."
No, that's my favourite line. How dare you steal that? My line.
Brilliant. Anyway, so you sort of hinted, Mark, that you've been doing fantasy quite a while.
Yeah, well, started off. I won't say like properly in depth on 3rd, but I got all the books when I was quite young, should we say. My cousins were quite into it, so I went round to theirs, and I was like what the hell is that? Yeah, it's like, love it, and sort of been addicted since then. But did take a break, didn't play any of 7th.
Yeah,
which,
okay.
You know, uni and other activities like drinking kind of took over my life.
A social life.
Yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah, partying really took it. So my money got spent on other things. Yeah.
I think a lot of people go through that sort of period, don't they?
Yeah.
If they get into fantasy in their sort of childhood years, you get to sort of 17, 18, that sort of age for a few years, you then go away from it and then end up coming back. So did that mean you came back in 8th edition?
Came back in 8th.
Right.
And yeah, basically it became a way of detoxing, doing painting. Like digital detox.
I'm just going to steal a bit of your kitchen
Yeah, go for it. There's 2 there.
I've made a mess. Oh, thank you very much. I'll steal all of one of your kitchen roll. So I've made an absolute mess with this texture.
So it's I love it.
And do you get to play much 8th, or do you play
really.
much of the
Unfortunately,
sort of older editions?
I'm married to a teacher, and I've got 2 children, which basically means I'm screwed on hobby. That's why I tend to do a lot more painting and building now than playing, which is not
a lot
the
easier
ideal
to
situation. But
find a little bit of time to do a bit of painting or a bit of building.
Yeah,
than
when
sort
my
of a
missus
couple of
falls
hours for a
asleep
game.
at like 9 o'clock on the sofa,
Yeah.
it's my time. Sadly, I can't get anyone over to play at that point in the evening. So you do what you can.
Yeah.
Which is why you've not seen me at one of your events as well.
Yes, yeah, you were saying sort of obviously 2 days difficult for you, which we find a lot, to be fair. A lot of people say, oh, one day events would be great, but it's just finding, I think, a good venue that's sort of close enough to everyone for people to go for a day.
I mean, when we did the London Legends, we talked about whether we did a 1 day, a 2 day, and you know, the beauty of being in London is there's quite a nice player base, so you could do a 1 day probably reasonably easy. I know there's one going on this weekend, or yesterday there was going on.
The second Road to Lustria event from Box of Frogs.
Which, you know, again, that was my time to shine. Could have made it, but sadly my daughter decided to do some sort of ballet tap recital, and
that's right. Blame your kids.
Yeah, it was deemed important that I actually attend and support my child rather than go hobbying all day.
That's just unacceptable. Really.
Is there
How dare she?
Just drops off, Camden.
And that's some kind of breakdown. Is he okay, Max?
Yeah, he was spitting off anyway.
Okay,
He's in pieces beforehand, so.
Oh, good.
Now, what I was going to say.
Tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
What I was going to say, is there any chance that your kids are watching this video? Or going to watch this video?
No.
Well, then you can say what you need to say about it.
Yeah, basically.
So obviously you mentioned running the London Legends event. I unfortunately couldn't go because I was actually at the first Road to Lustria that weekend. I think it was the same weekend.
Yeah, it was.
But obviously Max and James did go.
Yes.
James did quite well. Max, let the side down, but we won't go over that.
To be fair, Max you did all right.
I
mean, I think Drew gave you a pasting maybe.
The last game was not good for me. It all went sideways in the last game against the Bretonians, where I got a big old bus charging, bounce off, do nothing. Oh well, that's good.
Oh dear.
Do you know what the best unit in my army was for that game? Spearmen, spear elves. Spear elves and archers, mate. They killed the Pegasus Knights.
Oh wow, that says something.
I mean, they
Spear elves do more than the Dragon Princes.
I mean, they scared some Battle Pilgrims and some Yeomen, living life, and then the Phoenixes and Dragon Princes, just did absolutely nothing. One of my Phoenixes did manage to not get HKB'd by a Bretonian Lord.
Helpful.
Yeah.
Helpful.
Yeah,
Did he kill the Bretonian Lord?
No, they both survived the game.
They just sat there staring at each other, whiffing their attack.
Yeah. Because you know what, I think I rolled a double 1 and a 3 for magic, so I was like, marksman ward save, marksman strength, I'm like, well, that's just not good, is it?
And Drew just couldn't roll a 6.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe I think might have rolled, it was 3 months ago at this point? Quite a while ago, so I think Drew maybe rolled 1 6, I think I passed the ward save for it.
It's quite funny. I'm sitting here and I've been watching, I live vicariously through other people who attend your events. As I was saying, like playing you today in Take the Crown is going to be like me attending one of your events, because it's going to be the closest I'm going to get to it for a while. But I think the last two Bretonians have done really well, haven't they?
Yeah, both of this year's events they did pretty well. Second and third, I think.
No, both second.
Who did second in the first one?
First one was...
It wasn't Drew, was it?
No.
James Coldrick.
I'm sitting
No,
there...
James
Irwin.
I'm sitting there thinking, right, Drew... I mean, Drew's fairly new to fantasy, but he's doing really
Very
well.
good,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously he dedicates himself to just one army, which is Brett's, so it helps. But you got him, and Luke's obviously plays Brett's quite a bit. I know that both of them are probably upset that they're not the ones who came second. I'd say probably putting something down there for them to...
Luke did place third, but just with a different army.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he broke his curse of always coming fourth.
He did. He's come forth a lot. Yeah, we had Chris on Take the Crown last month, and Loose Warhammer a few months ago, and he was always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He'd come second at all of the events that year.
Yeah, but this year he dropped the ball.
He did drop the ball this year. Yeah, he didn't do well.
Nice.
He took a black coach. I mean,
no, he took his wood off.
Black coach.
He took his wood off. Yeah, 'cause he always takes wood off, mate.
I couldn't.
I thought he took a black coat.
No, he always likes taking Scarwhale, I think he likes to call it, the great fire dragon.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, fair.
I don't think I could take a vampires list without taking the black coach.
This the man.
I mean, this says a lot about what you'll be bringing in the Take the Crown that we're playing later.
I will say, I'm bringing stuff on Take the Crown that I hardly ever bring at all.
Does that mean it's the competitive stuff?
No, not at all. Is there competitive stuff in a Beastman list? Oh, a Doom Bull.
Yeah.
I haven't got one of those.
Slug Tongue?
Yeah,
No.
Hearthstone with loads of wizards. Not bad.
Yeah, none of that stuff's in my list.
Pigs.
The pigs are not good.
I heard pigs are good.
I nearly did bring... I know you're a massive advocate of the Horde, and I've had this discussion with you before, but I don't own a Horde, so I tend to take six with something on the side.
You could have texted me, or you could have messaged us and Max, and I borrowed the pigs. Like, you doing it. Don't show Scott what it means to fear bacon.
Fear the pig.
To fear the pork iron.
I could. To be fair, I could change my list because I've got... I mean, I don't know about you guys, but one of my favourite bits is actually just creating this. I will sit there, probably made about 35 different lists for consideration. I mean, many of them are just little tweaks, but
yeah.
If I spent as much time, educating my children as I did building lists, they'd probably be honour students or something.
Priorities, right? Priority. Yeah, so as you said, I'm the massive advocate. If it's monstrous, it hoards. Scott doesn't believe me on this, but
No, I don't.
No,
I think you're crazy.
I'm not a huge fan of that because I'd rather have smaller ones, like 6 or 8 or something, and then I can fit more stuff in my list.
we better come out. I'd rather have something that's good.
Well, yeah, than that.
Well, pigs are excellent.
They are good. They just can't move. There's no room for any of it.
I do like monstrous stuff in, like you say, 6s or 8s. I think that's a good size for them. 8s, I think, in particular, is a good size for them, 4x2.
I agree.
18's a bit
I
much.
normally run them in 6s, mainly because I never have more than 6. Yeah.
That would put a stop to the units of 8. Yeah.
Big sad.
Well, don't get me wrong, most of my lists I've got, most armies, I've got 10 armies, they're all around 10,000 points worth of stuff, excluding magic items, because...
So you've got large collections then?
I'm a hoarder.
Yeah.
And thankfully, so's my mum, so even when I stopped playing, I came back years later and it was just like, oh yeah, I've got all my Warhammer stuff all stored away, because,
I think if I did that, my mum would have thrown it away.
Yeah.
She would have thrown away the day you left, mate.
Yeah.
Because she thinks that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. She's an old woman, my mother. Thankfully, she's not got a subscription. She's not watching this.
I want to send the link.
Thanks, mate.
I want to send the link.
Thanks. You like to watch the world burn, don't you?
Yeah, well.
Cheers. Thanks,
add a little variety as a spice of life. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't have to make sense.
She got unnaturally angry that I hadn't mentioned to you and James, Max, that she'd hurt her foot.
Yeah, she did get very angry about that.
Just for no reason.
Is it because she was expecting Max to, I don't know, give her a kiss better or something?
No, she expects me to turn up hungover.
Yeah. But to be fair, you do live up to those expectations.
Scott always paints this picture of me, and I think it's an unfair picture.
It is perfectly accurate.
Nah.
You're some sort of drunken sot.
No. I wasn't the worst at one of our events at the beginning of the year. I was not the worst.
No. You were the worst of the three of us.
Well, the three of us, yes, I was the worst.
Yeah.
There was definitely one chap at the London Legends who, after the first, I don't know if it was the Friday or the Saturday night, he ended up sleeping on the floor of some of the Scottish lads' hotel room.
That was a.
We'll save him. We'll save him the embarrassment. We won't mention his name.
I know it is. I played him.
He was not in a good way on Sunday.
I know it is. It's me.
Yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me. No.
No, I did play him game 4, first thing Sunday morning, and he was not in a good way. Poor guy.
Oh, dear.
I always do you guys do this? This is the first time I think I've ever built a model without building the full model and trying to paint it. Just because I was looking at it thinking, God, this is such
I've started to do that. I've got a Chaos War Shrine at home, and I'm like, that's not being built fully.
No.
What else is out there? My Demon Prince, the
new one.
My third Demon Prince. My Cornate Demon Prince, I didn't build it all together. I think I put that together, like the body, wings, legs, tail were all separate. Just so I can get into the nooks and crannies, and it did help.
feels wrong.
It does feel wrong.
I don't think I've ever done it. I've had models where it would have been helpful. Terrorgeist being the big one.
Ravagers?
I feel like
40k, yeah, I did do my Ravagers.
Yeah.
In
it just feels like I'm getting soft in my old age or something. Or...
I just think, where does it stop? Because, like, you could paint Empire Halberdiers much easier if you didn't glue the halberds on.
God, no.
But do you then bother with that? It's like, where do you find that sort of distinction?
Yeah.
I think that's a really good case of painting it in sort of almost component parts with the Luminarch or the Hurricanum, because you're probably going to have two very different colours next to each other, like the purple that you've got for the sort of the frame, and then the woody colour for the chassis. And it makes sense to paint them in bits, but maybe I'll do mine. I've got one at home. Maybe I'll paint mine in.
I've always looked at it as like, if like as you said, the main body of a single part is going to be one colour and the other part is going to be another. So like
That's when you do it.
That's when it's like going back to say my Demon Prince, like the legs were mainly covered in armour, Chaos armour, so that was sprayed silver and then paint the flesh bits wraith bone and then contrast it again.
Go over a bit of yellow with purple.
Yeah.
It's the one thing with contrast, it's a nightmare to fix if you get the wrong colour somewhere.
Yeah, I've always found that if you need to find what the main colour of a single part is and then spray it and then paint it and stick it together.
Yeah.
Like the main body of the Demon Prince is flesh, and you stick that breastplate, which I was painted separately and glue bound to as well.
Yeah.
And it's gone from there. So
Did you see much of the chest under the breastplate then, once it's glued on? So why did you bother painting the chest?
Because sometimes if you look down down it from the top down, you can see a bit of it.
Right.
I was saying to you at the one day we went to. The one that was really nice, to really fluffy lists. I was saying to you, like, I really liked the way the Demon Prince looked without the chest plate.
Yeah.
It looked really nice. It just had a massive hole where the chest plate slots into, which obviously you can green stuff.
Green stuff, yeah.
But no, it looked really nice without the red really popped out. Like, I'll fully build it. I'll stick it all together.
I mean, from what I've heard of your painting, this feels like you've changed.
I will say this: I think my paint has got exponentially better over the past 2 years.
I think that's fair. I think you put a lot more effort now into the painting than you ever used to.
Basing, not so much.
Yeah, the basing we still have arguments about.
Is your basing anything like these? Done.
No, because I can't stand static graphs.
That must be. Oh, okay.
No,
I was going to say that sends your
OCD. It's basically just a texture paint, but spread out thinner than a normal paint.
I mean, the worst case.
So it's just brown then.
Yeah.
I think the worst offenders for that was my Chaos Dwarves.
Yeah, your Kadai, which is like 3 chariot bases, it's a Terrorgeist base, but 3 chariot bases put together, has got maybe 4 bumps in it. The rest it's just brown. It's just painted brown.
I thought the texture paint would fill out the gaps between the chariot bases quite nicely.
It would.
But
if you put it on thick.
I did put it on thick, how dare you?
You did not put it on thick.
That's a lie.
Do I need to separate you, ladies?
I've filled the gaps in these bases with texture paint because I've put it on thick.
But no, I think when we had the last War Council, I had my Skull Reapers, which was snow based, and I think I liked the way they were snow based up because it was really thick snow.
Yeah, it was better.
It was better.
I think because they're on such big bases though, they're on 40s, aren't they? they could do with something to break up the white, because they don't take up much of the base.
No, they don't. They don't take up a lot of base at all.
There's one that's like got his legs spread out. I think the banner guy.
Banner guy and the champ guy. But there's one guy that's had just 1 foot.
Got literally 1 foot on a 40mm base.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of white, which I think would look a bit better if you'd broken it up with like stones maybe, or
I think it
something.
It was a day before they needed to be on the.
Yeah, and obviously it wouldn't have matched the rest of your chaos if you added stuff to it.
Particularly.
But I think to improve the basing, and as a general tip to improve any basing, I think adding, particularly to big bases where there's a lot of empty space, adding some height is good, and adding like a different texture. So like on my ogres, I've got this sort of brown dry brushed, and then I've got some colourful tufts. Add a bit of height, nice sort of splash of colour, and then blood dripping off of weapons and stuff as well.
I think like many others, I like Mark, it's the same thing, but I'm kind of trying to hold off basing anything at this point in time.
Yeah, with Old World, fingers crossed round the corner. Who knows? It is a bit daunting basing anything.
I base how I've based since I first started. The only difference is when I first started basing, it was, like I say, it's just some static grass basically on there. When it first, it didn't have that, so it's flock. So I've got green bases. If I had goblin green, it would still be goblin green.
Goblin green.
I do get some stick for it, and in many ways, like you do.
You've harkened back. You've harkened back there. Memories like goblin green, blazing orange.
Yeah. Blazing orange.
Blazing orange.
Love it.
What colour? What colour that was?
So it's all. That's basically how I based it, and I did have one of the old mats, which is just a plain green mat, not like one of the new mouse mat ones. And even Luke, when he saw that and saw one of my armies sitting on there, was like, actually, it looks quite good when you've got it on that mat. Yeah.
When it's specifically in that place. Yeah, it looks alright.
It sounds oddly familiar to looks good for you.
Yeah, that's a classic in this room.
That hurt. That really did hurt. I put a lot of effort into painting whatever. I can't remember what it was.
No.
And absolutely got just.
It might have been the High Elves. Might have been Dragon Princes.
No, it was before the Dragon Princes.
Before the Dragon Princes.
Before them.
Yeah, it was very funny either way.
I mean, to be fair, the fact that I'm even enjoying painting now is a miracle, because I used to hate it. Hence, none of my old stuff is painted.
I've never really massively enjoyed painting. I've really got to want to do it to enjoy it, and I never want to do it.
I've had to learn to love it, because I don't play nearly as much as I used to, and it's probably one of the only facets of the hobby I can do on a regular basis.
Yeah. Although you build a lot because you buy a lot, so
I do.
I love building.
I mean, I don't have 2 chimeras on the way now, because Games Workshop put them back on sale.
They did. They hid them. Like, I couldn't find them going through like the Beastmen or the Slaves to Darkness or anything like that. I had to search Chimera.
So they didn't announce they were going back on sale at all.
No, I just saw someone put it on Facebook as a picture of the GW web store.
Yeah, and you said, just so everyone knows, Chimera's going back on sale. That's 2 in the basket.
I didn't know they'd taken them off.
Yeah, they went
they've
down.
not been around for a couple of years, 18 months.
Yeah,
long time.
So I now own 3, so the legal amount you can take an army.
Yeah. Well, you could do a 3K game, Grand Armies, to take 6.
Take 6. 275 points times 6? I don't know what that is.
It's about 1800s. Well, no, it's
275 is 550.
1600.
1010 for 4. Yeah?
1600, I think. We'll do 3 and double it.
550. 750. 825. 1650.
1650. Okay, I was close.
It was close. 1650 for 6.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points.
That's over half your points at
You
3K.
can't do it.
Oh,
This is special.
How disappointing. You can take 5.
You're 150 points over your special.
Okay, well then play a 3,500 point game.
Can't hoard those ones.
No,
They can't.
no, you
See,
can't.
This is the
No boards for you.
This was the conversation we was having before you got here, Mark. We was talking about hoarding a unit of chariots for.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this. I don't know if anyone's got any suggestions out there. How do you hoard a chariot unit? Just out of interest, just for my own.
If anyone's mad enough to watch.
Just for my own curiosity, because they're not infantry. They're not monstrous infantry.
It's not infantry that hoards.
Oh, is it just specific?
Everything? But monstrous ranks take 5 down to 3 and 10 down to 6.
It would literally
So it
be
depends if chariots count for monstrous ranks, which I don't know.
They'd have to be, surely.
I would say, being I mean, you got Skull Reapers, which are infantry and have to hold up as infantry, which is a big upset.
Yeah, that is true.
Is that the ones you used
in the Walkhouse? Yeah.
Yeah.
40 mil base end times.
I had to watch that one just so I had an idea of Tomb Kings.
To be honest, there was a time when I bought those Skull Reapers, I was going, yeah, I'm not hoard these Skull Reapers. I'm going to get 30 Skull Reapers.
Yeah.
Getting 30 Skull Reapers, and when it works out how big it actually is on the board, I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
Maybe I'm not going to do that.
Large.
Yes. If you could put them 6 wide to hoard them, that's more reasonable.
Yes, it would be.
Yeah. But then you're wasting the third rank.
It's larger than a pig unit, a horde pig. Pig horde.
Is it?
I mean, they're 40 mil.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to go 10 wide, so it's 400 mil.
400 mil.
The pigs are 50 mil, but you only go 6 wide for those.
Yeah, so it's just a whole 100 mil wider. It's 2 pigs wider. Amazing.
Do you want to paint some flagellants if you've run out of things to do?
Sure, I'll make some of your flagellants.
Do you want to gold trim some Chosen?
No, I do not, no.
Why not?
That's all you, Max. That is all you.
Come on!
Nope.
There's not a lot of gold on them. See, not a lot of gold on these bad boys.
No, they're all gold.
A lot
You'd have probably been better off spraying them gold.
No, because then you'd have to go in between all the gold trims.
Yeah, but surely that's easier to go in between than catch the tops of the gold.
I always find it's easier to go over the top of silver rather than go in between gold.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always the way I've done it, go over the top, but just looking at the amount that's on there.
No, because you like the top half. Yeah, it does look pretty mad with gold, but then you look at the bottom.
The legs,
and it's more plated.
Yeah, that's fair.
I always find that the gold base spray doesn't cover models well.
No, I think you need to spray it over black.
Yeah, because I think
or grey.
I sprayed my metal Sigvald. I'm like, that hasn't covered well at all.
No, it doesn't. Over black or grey. Like grey seer, actually, it probably covered quite well. Wraithbone, it'd cover really well.
Well, guess who's getting a strip then? Guess who's getting stripped of his
base
base colour?
Sigvald might be into that.
What do you tend to use to strip it?
I use this.
Other brands are available.
Yeah,
nail polish remover.
Yeah, nail polish.
98% acetone.
No, nice.
Don't drink it.
I mean, to be honest, there was a point in time I think you can't stick fine cast in this stuff, can you?
No.
It'll literally melt it, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Because
it would come out as a resin blob.
I have my other hell cannon, but that's fine cast.
That's more tricky.
Yeah.
To strip.
Which, to be honest, stripping down my first hell cannon was actually right because it meant that all the glue dissolved and all the green stuff, which apparently I used a lot to seal it all together.
To try and hold it together.
Just all fell away. And I was like, this is quite nice. Now I can actually, I can paint it sub-assembly because that's now my life.
Yeah.
But no, the other hell cannon, I either split apart, I like chop it to pieces, which is hard.
I wouldn't try to sort of rebuild it, but if you can find something that won't hurt. If anyone at home knows of something that you can strip fine cast resin with that won't damage the fine cast,
that'd be a lovely thing to know.
That'd be helpful. Let us know.
Reveal your secrets.
Well, see, again, I'm going to go back to the concentrate on stuff you haven't painted yet. Give up on the other stuff.
It needs to be repainted, all my chaos stuff. It needs to be redone.
I think your Hellcannon will look good once it's
There's
repainted.
only one place for chaos stuff to go.
The bin?
Warriors. Yeah. Right.
That's her. That's her. We won. We won.
Again.
You ruined it for everyone.
I will blame Luke for this one because he is my most often played person and he does like his
chaos.
Yeah.
I must admit, I do like.
They're great to look at when they're smashing my face to pieces.
I've recently redone my love of Warriors.
Yeah,
so I went
rekindled your love of them.
I went like a year and a half
without really playing them.
Yeah. So I took them to the first Cardiff Crusade. And then kind of fell flat on my face a little bit there. I don't know what happened with me. I think it's had a bad weekend.
You played Bretonians with Laura Light twice.
Yeah, I did. The first two games.
Your Demon Prince.
Sorry, they didn't bash Demon Prince. No, I just got Speed of Light and Biron's Time Warp and HK beat the Demon Prince.
Yeah, that's
it.
Nice. So yeah, like game one was.
When you played three Bloodthirsters.
I did take 3 Bloodthirsters.
That was that the later
card?
Cardiff?
That was the third card. No, second official Cardiff Crusade. The actual Cardiff Crusade, which was named Cardiff Crusade, I think, because they've done a lot of doubles, Christmas Crusades.
Yeah.
And so
Possibly.
I mean, it was the year after the first Cardiff Crusade. I took my Khorne Demons, which is the only time they've actually been played, and took triple Bloodthirster because 50% Lords and Heroes.
Yeah.
If I was allowed to take double Big Daddy Bloodthirster. I would have done that instead, but alas,
it was not to be.
Poor Yorick.
Poor Yorick was not meant to be because I played it and surprisingly they're good. 1's good, 2 is better.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you find that you swap and change your armies and go through phases with them then?
In terms of playing them, in terms of I don't get to play. You know? I don't get to, honestly, I don't, because I don't. To those who don't know on the camera, I don't drive, so I can't go down to hobby like centres and stuff like that to play games. The only times I ever go down to like the hobby centre we go to is when James is
going
off
as well.
Yeah, when he's off or he's going well himself, so I just hitch a lift with him and go over there. And when I go down there, it's either I'm practicing for an event or it's just something that's easy to handle, which is usually Beastman.
Yep.
So
I try and make myself, for events at least, stick to one army per year. So I think not last year, the year before was demons for me. Last year
was
vampires. This year has mainly been Bretonnians. Apart from that one day, which was uncommon, which I couldn't resist not taking Wall of Nurgle with Kairos. So, because I'm a fluffy guy.
No,
I take the fluff.
No, because you know
it was only a -16.
To the fluff events.
Yep.
Because you know Tzeentch and Nurgle famously get
best friends, BFFs.
BFFs forever.
Yep, BFF 4L.
That's a line, you know.
I have to admit, I find myself repeatedly in 8th going back to Dwarves and Beastmen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've painted up an entire Bretonnian army in the last year.
Nice.
Plus my lizards, pretty much.
Yeah. Very nice. That's good for someone who doesn't enjoy painting.
Yeah. I entered, there's something called the Call of the Crown.
Yeah.
And they had a painting competition and it kind of really pushed me. And Bretonnians are one of those things where I was like, oh God, like many people, I'm just like, oh, it's a painting. I just don't really want to spend all my time doing it. Definitely not doing all these different paint schemes.
Oh, the heraldry and
But then, and again, I saw Luke's, and Luke pretty much does the same colour per unit, just with different heraldry on it. And I like that, and I thought I could do that.
Yeah, something
so I did it.
Easier
and then James,
to sort of replicate as well.
James Workshop, I was going to say. Then they've shown off as, this is a way of doing it. And I'm just like, yeah, nice.
I don't know if there's a man who said on camera today, said, I don't like painting, says he's fully completed painting one of the hardest armies to fully complete painting.
Yeah, but you haven't seen it.
That is fair. That is a fair statement.
It looks alright.
Because I remember Scott trying to find someone to paint his Bretonnians, because Scott didn't want to do it himself.
I was not painting.
And the first place he went, he said, yeah, that's the one army I will not paint.
Yeah.
There are a few pictures of it knocking around, especially as I painted it basically for we do a club show every October.
Yeah.
And we did...
which we're actually going to this October.
Oh, are you? I'll have to make sure that my wife doesn't pre-book me up on it. I was going to say, are you just attending or are you...
No, so we've got to have a little stall.
Oh, are you? I was going to say, if not, I'd rope you into doing like a 2,500 point 4 or 5 player...
multi-man match.
Yeah.
with my favourite game of 8th, which is Triumph and Treachery.
Okay.
I love it.
We had a few people mention that they really like Triumph and Treachery. It's never been something that's really sort of tickled my fantasy itch.
Oh, it is amazing. Honestly, it is so good.
I thought you say we had a few people, and the one person I only ever know is Chris Howe.
I was going to say, I mean, I know I definitely was saying, oh, if I come on here, I'm going to challenge you all to take the crown. And you're like, the studio may not accommodate
that. Maybe a bit too small. Now you're here, I'm sure you can see.
I do get it, but I think, if you got rid of the makeup lady, that's what I'm going to say today. That would pack a few more.
Get rid of the bar in the corner as well.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you should see what your subscription costs towards. It is amazing.
Fully stocked bar, always off camera. Yeah. We treat our guests well.
Like kings.
I think we've had in total 2 people mention Triumph, or maybe 3 people mention Triumph and Treachery, for like a sort of take the crown go. But it's just the space, to be honest, in here at the moment. When we eventually move to somewhere hopefully a bit bigger, possibly, and cooler, that would be nice. It's very hot in here.
It's hot with 3 people. I dread to think what it's like with 4 people.
Yeah. But no, we will be having a little stall in October. We think we're going to do a bit of a trial by combat sort of game.
Oh,
so
nice.
we'll have a bunch of units and things there for people to use and face the challenges of the halberdiers, the trolls, and of course Dev the dragon.
I bet this is the thing that's happening. Like I vaguely remember this conversation.
It was a while ago we sorted it out.
I mean, because they do like people to come and do little participation.
Yeah.
Which is why I've not bothered, and for the club I've just run like 20,000 point demo games of fantasy instead.
Do you want introductions to the game? Here's 20,000 points, baby.
Yeah, it's not. It's it's just us playing massive games.
And people now and again walking by and watching.
Yeah, and everyone going, "Is that old fantasy? Oh, do you still play it?" No, we just set it up for the fun.
We went through this entire thing just to not play it. Right?
Yeah.
You are holding that shield in a very odd way.
Because I don't want to hold the gold in case I rub it off. Because it's a metal model, which is a big concern. I don't have one of those the paint holder things.
I don't think that'd be any good for that, to be honest.
I have this. I have this thing.
What? Where did you? What is that?
You know the Games Workshop thing they sell when you put your models in elastic bands, so you can spray paint them.
No. Did they ever sell that?
Yeah.
Shit, no colour.
No colour. Wow.
I bought one of their
Waste the money.
the little plastic things which you can hold figures in.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I've never used it. I tried to about 3 times, and it's just like, just hold the bit.
Yeah,
hold the base. It's not.
I heard very different reviews from different people. Some people are like you, they're like, I just don't see the point of it. Why would I not just hold the base? Some people swear by it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're the people who are decent at painting.
I know my brother's got it and he used it.
Yeah.
But he's a better painter than I.
Yeah, that's not
Does your
difficult.
brother play? Because the only thing I ever hear is your brother's like just
Jacked.
weights. Yeah. So I was like, oh, he's not going to get much of a workout from these.
He doesn't play. He hardly ever plays, to be honest.
No, he's not playing
because of the fact that he himself does drive, but because he does what he does outside in his own life, he doesn't get to do it. But he's got 2 massive heresy armies. He's got a Blood Bowl team. He's got Lord of the Rings is pretty much, I think, what I say his main game is
SPG.
Yeah, good thing.
When is your first Blood Bowl game coming out? Is it out
That
now,
comes
or is
out-
it
That
soon?
will be out now by the time this is out.
Yeah, because this at the time of recording, the Blood Bowl game comes out
Next week.
next week.
Nice.
Yeah, but from our perspective,
Yes.
for you guys, I think it would have been out last week.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think so.
Yeah, get your head around that
It's-
one, people.
Yeah, it's great working out the schedule
Time.
when you film in advance.
Timings.
Oh, madness. I really like that yellow and purple though.
I mean,
Big fan of
it's
that.
understated, like a lot of my colours. I don't know, my dwarves are... it's called Warlock Purple. It's an old hex pot. Some people might call it Fuchsia Pink.
Yeah. It is bold.
Yeah. But they're mainly that in green.
Yeah.
So
But no, I really like it's sort of Ostermarky colours. Yeah.
so I keep getting told.
Did you just pick the colours because you
Yeah.
like the colours? And you just happen to upon the Ostermark scheme?
Absolutely. I kind of consider my empire as being Borderland based.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I can stick all my Bretonians in with them as well.
Yeah.
And really beef it up.
Yeah, fair.
If I want to go for like a full cav list or something.
Full cavalry that might also be supplied by double steam tank.
I know I only own one. I'm not
You
that
could,
kind of player.
you could take Leapbold the Black and take some Bretonian Knights from
I
court.
do have him. He's my general. But
Nice.
not as
Not as him.
as
Yeah,
him.
Just
yeah.
as a general.
You
Because
take Bretonian Knights. You could take some Ogre Iron Guards, I think.
Yeah, some Dwarf Longbeards.
Longbeards? Is it only core choice you can take?
Yeah.
That is a throwback almost to the 4th edition Empire book when he had I've got 30 halflings like the old metal ones which are really characterful.
Yeah.
Probably going to use them as free swords, what are they called?
The Free Company.
Yeah.
Scum.
Yeah. Scum.
Yeah.
As they are called in their iron book.
The
Scum.
riff-raff. Yeah, the 4th was excellent because you could take all these little, all the immigrants who'd come to the Empire basically.
That's cool.
Shanghaied into service.
Yeah.
That's a cool sort of way to get more of the feel of what the Empire is, though, I
Yeah.
think, isn't it? Having the halflings and things.
I mean, they are part of the Empire in the moot.
They
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
Next to
So-
Sylvania. Going by my maps from the top
Yeah.
wall.
Well done.
And
Yes.
dwarves all live under Middenheim and stuff like that, so
Yeah,
they've got their own like undercity there.
Yeah, the mountains around sort of Reichland and Nuln, and then the other side, the World's Edge Mountains.
So, you know, so
I think the Grey Mountains. I think that's what they're called. Between the Empire and Bretonnia.
Yes,
I think it's the Grey Mountains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
where Heinrich Kemmel lives.
That's one of those where I was shouting at the screen during the Wolf review, going, "That's not the right hold." Backseat driver, as it were.
You can blame James for that. He's the main dwarf guy, and mainly because he isn't here to defend himself.
No, quite right. Definitely pick on him then.
Yeah. Oh.
You seem to be not painting.
No, well, I'm sort of waiting for this to dry, to be honest.
I heard that you said you was going to help Mark paint some flatulence.
Well, yeah, I did. I might have mentioned that, to be fair.
I tried to force him into it, you know, just to try and motivate him.
You can paint Siler if you want.
No, I'm good, thanks, mate.
He's pretty much done.
Good for you. You can finish in there, can't you?
Harsh. Harsh words.
You don't want me coming in and painting like the little details, because that'll really make the rest of your painting sort of stand out.
What little details?
Oh, the horns, the claws, the rocks.
The one thing on it that I'm not looking forward to doing is those horns on his back. So I did all the scales on his back. I've done all the scales on his back.
Oh, right, you're the black, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you just got to paint all the horns.
Yeah.
What colour? Are you going to do them like bone coloured?
Yeah.
See, that was your mistake. If that was me, I would have undercoated it black, then I wouldn't have had to have painted that.
No, because
Lazy painting.
Because I wanted contrast, I had to go to a
yeah, of course.
Wraith bone.
Why don't you contrast black it?
I did contrast black it.
Oh, okay.
Damn, that's the one I forgot.
I painted black first and then contrast black to give it a much deeper
Oh, okay.
black colour. So a lot of my
yeah.
trying to think, like a lot of my new warriors have got black cloaks. So I painted black and then contrast black again.
Oh,
so
okay.
it makes a much darker, richer black colour sort of thing.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, did you think you'd mixed your paints up there? That's what you were painting?
No, I thought I've forgotten my contrast black.
Oh, wait.
That's alright. I've got plenty of browns to get on with. They're only peasants, pretty much, these guys. So.
They're better.
Speaking like a true Bretonian.
They're scum. Yeah, no, basically.
Well, they're just religious fanatics, really, aren't they?
That's what I said. Scum.
They're unbreakable.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not useful.
They have friends. They could get hatred.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I actually did something which is just for me really, really weird. But I actually painted virtually all my core up on my Empire first, so I can actually feel the legal list. Yeah. When I say all my core, I mean Knights Regiment, and then 50 Halberdiers.
Yeah.
I haven't touched any of the shooters yet. So.
I mean, that is what a lot of people's core from Empire does consist of.
Yeah, not mine. I've got almost 40 spearmen.
And you say I'm crazy.
Maybe 30 handgunners painted, 24 handgunners painted.
You say I'm crazy.
I know. Well, it was for the narrative
How did it work out?
games. Not great. In the second game, I think it was, I said, I really need to remember, put my steam tank in the middle, not on an end. And then forgot in the remaining 4 games.
You did in the last one. He was in the centre in the last one.
He was in the centre, and he got the best cannon shot I think I've ever done. So
yeah, he did.
He did. For those of you who haven't watched it, spoilers, click away now. But he shot on turn 1 with the cannon, killed a tree man and Thalandor in one shot.
It was a spicy one.
It was a spicy one.
The problem was, you said spoiler, I couldn't go away. I haven't watched it.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Now you know. But no, it was good. It was a good game actually. Despite losing a tree man and Thalandor really early on, the Wood Elves really put up a fight. But I won't spoil the result for you, Mark, and everyone at home.
But worth watching.
Yeah, probably the best cannon shot I've ever done.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those things. I keep forgetting that. Oh, hang on, that's flesh. Oh, well, it's a sleeve now.
It's a sleeve.
Yeah, it was.
Classic.
Yeah. No one's gonna notice when he's in with 40 of his mates.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that you've got so much content on there, and I just keep missing it all.
Yeah, we do. We do release it all. We do release a lot of it.
So I'm going through all
that's for sure.
the battle reports at the moment. So.
Working your way through the war councils or the.
I might take the crowns actually.
Take the crown.
And I was trying to start off with all of the Tomb King ones, but actually I wasn't. I just started at the beginning, but I did watch the latest War Council because it had Tomb Kings. Because you know, spoiler, I'm playing Scott's Tomb Kings later.
Requested to play the Tomb Kings.
Because I don't have a clue about them. Because I think the last time I played them was when it was 5th edition and it was a White Dwarf list.
Okay. Well, I mean, that makes 2 of us because I've never played Tomb Kings before. So, yeah.
You have the advantage of having played against them.
I have played against them. Not that much. A few times, a couple of times on the channel, but not that much.
Who did you play? Who played them, Scott?
James played them.
Surprising.
Yeah. Shocker.
So, to be fair, one of the guys at the club has got an absolute stunning list. Stunning army, but he religiously just plays Kings of War now. Because he never ever won a game of Warhammer with them. Got slightly disenchanted.
Poor Tomb Kings. I do think the changes we made to them in our latest pack massively helped them though. I mean, the comp has always helped them, being one of the weaker books, but the sort of additional bits around like constructs getting back a wound per spell, not per phase, and the marching within 12, the general sort of like vampires, I just think it makes more builds more sort of workable for them.
I mean, I know it's probably very, very few people take it, but if you consider doing the other one like the vampires, where it's if your Hierophant dies, someone who's also got the same lore can take over.
Yeah, I think then you potentially get into the place where they're too similar.
Vampire-ish.
Yeah, and because they had the sort of, although it was everyone can march in the combined list in the end times, so we sort of tried to bring in a bit of that to give them some ability to march, but not just everyone can march. I thought that was a bit too much, and it just took away from the fact that they are still undead.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will see how the Tomb Kings do a bit later on. But I think for now we will end this episode of Loose Warhammer there, and thank you, Mark, very much for coming on.
Thank you.
You will see Mark again. Well, we'll see him now for the rest of the day. You'll see him in about 2 weeks' time.
Unlucky.
But yeah, thank you very much for coming on. The Empire looking great. The purple and the yellow really stand out, actually. Big fan. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us at home, and make sure you head back to the Night of the Round Musting Ground, check out all of our other exclusive content. But for now, we will see you next time.
Remember to tag your friends and like, subscribe and share. Then head over to triplecrownwargaming.com and become a Knight of the Realm today.
What are you doing, mate?
Are you alright?
Do it for